One of the projects in this course is the Biology Professional Development Project, or BioPD for short. Now, this project isn't really a course outcome of Biology 151, and so some students complain about that, but I don't care because it's really great that we're going to talk about evolution and ecology and sponges and humans in this class, but all those things don't help you get an internship. Those things don't help you get a job or get into med school. Sure, that knowledge might help you on entrance exams and whatnot, but you're going to be filling out applications. You're going to be writing resumes. You're going to be putting together a cover letter. You're going to need to find these opportunities. And so this project is an easier project, I'll totally admit to that, that is helping you kind of prepare for the professional part of biology. It's great that you're learning all that content. It's also important to learn, how do I actually get a job in this field? And how do I be successful at it? Because it's not just, oh, I have a resume, I submit it. There might be some jobs like that, but a lot of jobs are a lot more intensive than that. And this is kind of one of the first stepping stones to get you on your way to getting internships. And I'm going to super humble brag here. I have had lots of students who do this project and actually get the internships, is mostly internships, that they applied for. Some students have gotten the scholarships that they have applied for. Was it just because of this project? No. But they have admitted to me that they were kind of dragging their feet looking for stuff, and that this project kind of made them do it, and then they ended up getting these amazing experiences out of it. So take advantage of this project. Do your awesomest at it. Put all your effort into it, and who knows, you might land like a super awesome opportunity. So here I am in our Blackboard course. I am going to give you a heads up. I do use this video over multiple semesters, so things might look a little bit different semester to semester. Just make sure that you're reading through the instructions for your project, just to make sure that you have the most current and up-to-date information. So here we are in Blackboard. I'm going to go to the Assignments, Projects, and Extra Credit folder. And then I'm going to navigate to the folder that says BioPD. Now in this folder, you've already found this because you found this video. You find the instructions. You find ideas for internships. I'll talk about that more in a moment, as well as resume examples, cover letter examples, and overview of deadlines. So I'm going to go ahead and hop over to the instructions real quick. So this, again, read on your own time, but in general, there's different components of this project. First up is finding an opportunity. I use the word opportunity broadly because I want you to find something that you want. Maybe you already have a summer job, so you don't want to look for an internship, but look for a scholarship instead. Or maybe you're about to graduate and you actually want to start applying to jobs. Okay, find a job instead. The only requirement is that it has to be biology related. If you're like, oh, I like nannying over the summers, awesome. I'm sure that pays a lot. But the focus for this project is something in biology, because the materials you're going to prepare are going to be biology focused. If you are in chemistry or biochemistry or another science, but taking this course as a requirement for dental school or whatever, that is fine. If it's more chemistry focused job, that's fine. I should say STEM focused job is what we're looking for. So it has to be something you can currently apply for, in the sense that you can't apply for med school yet, or I shouldn't say that, but most of you probably can't apply to med school. So don't do med school, for example, or don't do a job for a doctor which you are not qualified for. So it does have to be something you are qualified for. All you have to do for this part of the assignment is just find the opportunity, and in a new Word document, copy and paste the link to the opportunity, and then copy and paste all the relevant information, such as requirements, such as what is the opportunity? An internship? What's the purpose of the internship? What are the requirements for the application? Do you need to submit a cover letter? Do you need to answer essay questions? Things like that. And this goes into more detail of what you need. The next thing that is due is just a first draft. I say draft, but this should be the completed product. We'll talk about the second draft in a moment. So what is required of everyone is to turn in that opportunity again So you've turned it in maybe a week or two prior to this deadline. I give you some feedback. You're going to submit it again, as well as a resume, a biology resume. A resume for a nanny job is going to look very different than a resume for a biology job, which is going to look very different than a resume for McDonald's. Science resumes have certain things in them and certain things you want to highlight. Now, this video is not going to go through that, but I have given you the resources to kind of learn a little bit more about biology resumes. Your application may also ask for a curriculum vitae. A curriculum vitae is the same thing as a resume, it's just longer. Resumes, typically everyone learns, oh, it has to be 1 page. That is not true in the sciences. Resumes can be 1 to 2 pages. If you have more than 2 pages, it is no longer a resume and is considered something called a curriculum vitae. Now, in the instructions, I link to a website that is hosted actually by Towson. I also have it linked within Blackboard. So I'm just going to open it up real quick just so you can see. They have 4 different resumes. You can get an idea of the different sections. But then, and I almost want to say it's more important, on Blackboard, so it's not in the instructions, on Blackboard, I put up my annotated curriculum vitae. This is what I had from senior year of college. You see it's 4 pages, which is why it doesn't say resume, it says curriculum vitae, but it's going to have the same info. The reason I'm saying this is more important is because this link just gives you examples. Mine gives you an example and notes. So if you highlight over the little bubbles or any of the highlighted parts, it gives you more information. It says, hey, order it this way. You should include this, or for this, you shouldn't include this. And because it's a curriculum vitae and it's 4 pages, I have tons of different examples of headers. So look through this. This is going to give you a lot of good information and a good explanation of the different sections that you may or may not include. Resumes are also personal. Do not look at this and be like, I have to follow this to the T. No, you shouldn't. That's plagiarizing. Like, your resume is your resume. Don't be like, oh, she bolds this, I'm going to do that too. Oh, she used this font, I'm going to do that. This was my personal style. I have put my own personal twist on my own resume, and you should do the same. Okay, so again, the first draft is the resume and just that opportunity. Now, you also have an optional assignment that earns extra credit. The optional assignment is with your first draft, in addition to the opportunity, in addition to the resume, you submit a CLEPS. I have a lot of acronyms. CLEPS is short for a cover letter, essay, personal statement. CLEPS. Much shorter. So for a lot of these jobs or internships or whatever you're looking for, they might ask for an essay. They might ask for a personal statement. They might ask for a cover letter. They may ask you to answer questions. If you want to, you can do that part of the application as well. You can submit a cover letter. You can submit your essay, etc. It doesn't matter what it is. They don't earn different amounts of points. Because again, the goal of this project is to have you do something actually useful. I don't want you to write an essay when your job doesn't even ask for an essay. Now, if your opportunity only asks for a resume, you can still write a cover letter. You might not submit it for that internship, but you're like, oh, I really want the extra credit. You can write a cover letter, and that's totally fine. Similar to the resumes, if you go on the Blackboard, there's online examples, and then my cover letter for when I applied here at MC, that is annotated. So it gives you tips and tricks of how to write these documents. Keep in mind, for both my CV and my cover letter, they're longer. They're going to be longer than probably what most of you guys have. For my CV, that was my senior year of college. I had done tons of projects, lots of research. For some of you guys, this is your second year of college. My cover letter was me applying for a professor job. I've done undergrad. I went to grad school. I worked in China for a little bit. So don't be overwhelmed that there's a lot written and you're like, I've got 2 paragraphs. Totally fine. I'm not grading on length. I'm grading on completeness. So if you want to, you can submit a cover letter as well. Now, you don't get extra credit for the cover letter itself. What you get extra credit for is in the next step of the process that everyone does, which is the peer editing. So you are going to submit your resume and opportunity. I'm going to collect it and I'm going to email it out to 2 students. It's going to be anonymized, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to send it to 2 students who are going to look over it. They're going to give you feedback. They're going to write all over it. They're going to say, oh, this word doesn't make sense, or this isn't organized well, or what about this, or what about that? So you guys will be peer editing. So your paper goes out to 2 people, and every single student is going to get 2 packets. So I'm going to get a application packet from student 1 and from student 2. So that everyone's going to get 2 sets of edits and 2 sets of feedback. Now here's where the extra credit comes in. If you were a student who submitted a CLEPS, one of those cover letters, essays, or personal statements, you will only get student packets of other students who also did a CLEPS. And so when you guys are doing your peer editing, not only are you editing their resume, but you're also editing their CLEPS, and that's where the extra credit comes in. Because you're going to be doing some extra work to prepare that document, as well as giving feedback to other students who had that document as well. And then finally, another optional assignment is that you've gotten your feedback back from those 2 other students. If you want to, incorporate that feedback, and then feel free to submit a final draft in the Blackboard to get my feedback. So I personally will not be giving feedback to you guys because I know some students don't care or they're not going to use this. And so I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time grading and you doing something that you're not going to use. So if you want to incorporate those peer edits, resubmit it in the Blackboard, and I will go through it with a fine-tooth comb and be like, do this, do this, do this. That's great. That's not so great. I'll do that for you. It's not worth any extra credit or anything. This is more of just a service. I'm happy to look over it and give you feedback. As a reminder, I say a reminder, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I used to work at NASA, and I looked over so many resumes and so many cover letters. And I'll tell you, in my annotated resume and cover letter, the people who had certain things got hired. People who didn't have certain things just threw away their application. I had 80 applicants for 6 positions. You eliminate a lot of people just based on how their cover letter and resume is. So anyway, with that, so that's the project. In Blackboard, all of these assignment drop boxes are found and they are in order. Just be sure that you're reading through the instructions. You'll get an easy A on this. And the more effort you put into this, the more likely you're going to potentially get that opportunity. And that's my goal for everyone, is to be able to have something really cool going on, whether it's a scholarship, an internship, a job, just something that is benefiting you, not just academically, but you're in school for a reason, right? To get a job. At least I'm assuming that's your goal. And so that's what I'm here to do, is kind of help you get to that next step.